welcome to the second episode of the South East Women's Football League GameFace Footy Show. Thanks to Bendigo Bank for bringing us this footy show every week. Now, it's been a while since we've been here, but Sarah, we're really excited to be back with a special guest.
Absolutely, we have got Gary here. Not only is he from wonderful Bendigo Bank, that is our major sponsor, but he's also previous coach of the Mornington Football Club and also the current, let me pop this in as well, last year's Coach of the Year.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, this guy.
I'm getting embarrassed already.
And also the Interleague coach for 2019. So welcome to the show.
Yeah, no, thanks girls, thanks Soph, and thanks Mac. Great to be here, it really is.
Good. So could you give us just, I guess, a little bit of your footy background, maybe give us a minute or so of just, what you bring?
I've been blessed with having 4 daughters, and they're probably 6-7 years ago, one of them started to get involved in women's footy, youth girls footy. That got me back involved with coaching footy, because I coached the Mornington Junior Football League sort of team that played over in Casey Fields for 2 years, and then 3 years ago started the Mornington senior team up with my daughter Vicky. So from there we had one team. We were very lucky to play in the AFL competition the first year as the AFL South East division and won the premiership that year. Second year we went up to Div 2 when AFL South East started its competitions, and that's when obviously Eastern and all the strong Div 1 teams came in. We had Div 2 and Div 3. We got through the prelim final that year, got Golden Point, lost that game and against Beaky, and they went on to win the premiership.
Yep.
And then start of the last season, got told we were going up to Div 1, which was daunting. But the best thing that ever happened to Mornington, because they still had 2 teams, picked up a lot of new players that wanted to play high-level footy and attracted some VFL players that didn't necessarily play with us, but came to training and helped the rest of the girls. And amazingly got through to a prelim final last year and got sorted out with some top teams with Seawf in that prelim, who went on to play Eastern in the grand final for, I think, a 1-point game in the grand final.
Pretty much, close to it.
Yeah, and I'm rapt to be involved in Interleague this year. I've stepped down from Mornington and now I'm involved with Interleague. It's been fantastic the last 6 weeks.
So you've got to then really branch out and see a lot of talent across all the divisions.
I've spent probably more time in the last 6 weeks watching footy. Last weekend, the weekend before, saw 4 games over 3 days.
Yep.
And it's been, look, the girls can come along to training and show their skills. We know that they can handball, they can kick and they can run. You listen to their voices, but it's not until you get out and see them in a game that you really know how they play. Last week I was down at Bass watching Bass Cranbourne. This week I was back down at Bass watching Mornington and Bass. The week before I think I was at Port Melbourne. I've been there twice. I've seen 3 of the Eastern games because we've got a lot of representatives from the top Div 1 teams in Eastern. We've got 6 players from Eastern, we've got 5 from the Saints, from Seawf.
Yep.
So it's been really good.
Well, you're going to be very handy when it comes to analysing any of the teams that are going to be in the competition when it's coming up.
It's quite funny. Last year up in Div 1, when you go out and coach, play against say Eastern the first time or Seawf, I didn't know the players. I reckon I'd be a bloody good coach this year because I've seen so many of the top talent and would really understand how their strengths are.
Awesome. All right. Shall we jump straight into it? So looking at Div 1, currently the Sharks are on top of the Division 1 ladder with a massive percentage at the moment. They've absolutely come out firing so far. Went and saw their first game against Port Melbourne and they were looking super, super strong. They've got some really good talented players in there and some old VFL or from the old Premier Division players. A couple of girls that played for Richmond last year. They've got Jess Gardner. They've got Georgia Harris, who are all really, really strong players. And you can really see when a few of these more experienced players are coming into teams and really kind of making their mark. So I think St Kilda are going to certainly be someone to look out for.
And we've got 3 players that you haven't mentioned from the Saints on our list in our final 30, and Hannah Bowie. Yep. We've got Bridget Hanrahan, and who else we've got? Sarah Black as well. So there's 3 other talented people on the players.
I think Hannah Bowie actually got the best on ground over the weekend for the Saints. So she's quick on baller, and I think can run her around on the wing as well. So she's certainly doing really well for those guys. And I believe she's the daughter of Saints player Brett Bowden.
Yes, she is.
So there you go, just a little bit of talent in there. All right.
If we look at Beaconsfield, I noticed on the weekend they have a lot of girls who are first year players.
Yep.
We actually caught up with the Beaconsfield coach Troy and their captain Jake. So let's have a look at that.
G'day, Troy Robinson from Beaconsfield Football Club. With me today we've got our captain,
Huffy.
also known as Jade Huff. In essence, I think out of the 24 that we'll put out there today, there's about 14 of them first game footballers, and of the first game footballers, there's a couple that have played youth football a number of years ago, but I think out of that there's 11 that have never played footy before. So it's a great opportunity for them just to come and have a crack and have a bit of fun.
So it sounds like Troy is really trying to build something down there at Beaconsfield, and we wish him all the best of luck. Now with the Sharks on top in Division 1, there's still 3 teams undefeated on the ladder. The end of this week, games, do you think, Gary?
Oh, look, without question, I think the big game this week is Seaford and the Sharks. It will determine who is going to be the number 1 at this stage of the season. The other team that's undefeated is Mornington. They haven't come up against anyone really yet. They played Beaconsfield in the first round and they played Bass. They will find it a big step up against Eastern, and I think there will be another team undefeated this week in Mornington, even though I'm from Mornington. But they'll give 100%, I know they will, but it'll be a great game. But I'm looking forward to obviously watching or trying to get to the top game in the Sharks and Seaford.
Yeah, I think it's going to really set the tone for what we're going to be seeing for the rest of the season, and seeing where the standard's going to be at, because they've both got a few VFL players that are in their clubs, which are really obviously kind of setting the benchmark and the bar for the rest of the competition.
And the other couple of games that will show a lot too is Port Melbourne against Cranbourne. Port, I think, are on the improve, and Cranbourne are a strong team, even though Eastern beat them last week. The other really interesting game to see where both clubs are at in this division are Bass and Beaconsfield. Right? Both haven't won a game. One of them's going to come away with a win on the weekend. So
Yeah.
it'll be interesting.
It'll be interesting to see once you get those wins, that bout of confidence can all of a sudden
Absolutely.
set your
Yeah.
season alight. Fantastic. All right. Moving on. Cool. Okay, so the great reason we're able to bring you the show every week is thanks to the great people at Bendigo Bank. Bendigo Bank are a major sponsor for the South Eastern Women's Football League. So please support our sponsors so we can continue to promote the South Eastern Women's
And Matt,
Football.
can I say I'm here on 2 fields, right?
Oh,
I am Community Bank on the Peninsula. We've supported the NPNFL for the last 10 years. And with the divisional changes, we have now moved the total sponsorship of our funding to AFL Southeast to support the growth of AFL Southeast Women.
That is awesome.
So I'm wrapped as a spokesman for the community banks and Bendigo Bank, and I look forward to everyone getting on board and what we can do. So it's
I
great.
definitely think that a lot of the players who are out there as well appreciate just having
Yeah.
a big company kind of actually get behind it, because a lot of the time I think felt as though you got a little bit left behind, so that's nice to have.
And
Yeah.
while I'm involved in the community bank side, Bendigo Bank side of it, and women's footy, we'll be there pushing and supporting everything that everyone's doing in all 3 divisions. That's critical.
Perfect.
Now moving to Division 2, we saw some very entertaining footage this week. YAB TV has started down at Tyab. Tyab have kicked off their season really well. They remain undefeated after their first 2 games, and we caught up with Jade from Tyab. Check it out.
Hello, welcome to my channel. This is YAB TV.
So Tash, round 1, what are you thinking? What are your thoughts?
Very excited to get out there, ready to pump St Kilda points.
What are you most nervous about?
Well, I want it to be dry. It's a bit freaking wet and cold out there. It's wet. That's what she said.
Okay, so tell us, Ludo, it's your first official game coaching the YAB.
How did this happen? Why am I on camera? This is all about you guys.
Ludo, how do you think we're going to go now?
How are we going to win?
Really well.
We're going to win the game. That's all right. We're going to get the 12 points.
Alright, so we're just here with Tomo, our captain. All the girls love a great chat with Tomo, and we're all looking forward to the pre-game speech. Can you give us a little taste?
The theme is and
Can you guys tell me what's going on here? Can you show me this?
This is Dizzle and Mal's first game glitter booth. people who are playing their first game have to really show them.
Show me. You look beautiful.
Alright, it stands for what? Anzac Day stands for what?
Hard work, mate. Cal, so you're about to go on round 1 for the abs. Take your top off. Shana, how do you feel after your first goal? MQ, how are you feeling after the win?
James got Yummy TV. Yeah. You're live on Yum TV.
He's done a really awesome job with Yab TV, and we'd really love to see more. We love those kind of things, and hopefully other clubs can kind of put their own spin on things.
I'd be
like
sure
that.
every club is out there with some sort of video or cameraman taking snaps. Get it in, and yeah, we'll put it up.
So Tyab have had a great win against EDS and are undefeated after the first 2 games. How do you see Division 2 panning out, guys?
Oh look, I've seen a couple of games already. There was a tie with in the first game, Eastern and Seafood. That was really good. I was also down and saw the Eastern Cranny game, and that looked like Eastern winning that, so that meant competition looked pretty even, but Cranny got up by a point. I think the 2 standout teams at the moment that are yet to be tested still are Tyab and Murrumbina. So once they start playing those Easterns, Seafoods and Cranbournes, you'll get a far better picture. But they're sort of the 5 or 6 top teams for me at the moment.
So obviously Murrumbina have come up after just pretty much being undefeated for a long period of time, and it sounded though through a previous interview that we've done here on South East Women's Football League that they're just wanting to develop their players. They came up for those particular reasons, and it sounds like they've got a lot of talent there as well. Have you seen much of their talent that stand out?
No, and it's I haven't had a chance to get down and see one of the players, 2 players I've been particularly interested in being nominated, Danny Warren, who we have selected in the top 30, and Shani Carter was also nominated as a league best and fairest, I believe, but through injury we haven't really been able to see enough of it to select. So there's high likelihood that in the interleague game in a couple of weeks she'll be playing against us. Because they came from Southern, and AFL South East are allowing the Murrumbina girls that are selected to play. So looking forward to seeing Danny. She's been fantastic on the track. So
Yeah, really exciting to see if someone can kind of test Murrumbina and we see what they're really made of.
Who have Murrumbina got this week? Well, they got Eastern. I think that'll be really a clear indication, because I was impressed with Eastern, even though they lost by a point, but they've had a draw and a point loss. So it's going to clearly show everyone, I think, where Murrumbina
We're going to be interesting to see. I mean, a lot of the players as well will start to trickle down as more Div 1 teams get players back, so that will then start bringing up the quality of Div 2 as well. It'll be interesting to see.
So if we look at a few games in Division 2 this weekend, one that sticks out for me because I know they've come up from Division 3, where I play, is Hastings and Pearsdale. Really interested to see how they go, Gary.
It's actually a replay of last year's grand final.
Yeah, that's right.
And Pearsdale surprised everybody with a great win, so it should be a really good game, and I think Hastings might be a bit strong.
Yeah, I think Hastings might just get over the line. I think they've got a few recruits this year that might just get them over the line.
Yeah, and one of the players that's been a standout in Div 3 for the last 2 years has been Zoe Mitchell. Zoe in the first 2 games in Div 2, even though they lost against Murrumbina in the first game, was a standout Hastings player, and from all accounts on the weekend when they won was also a standout player. So we're enjoying her at Interleague, and she's enjoying the opportunity to play with some really talented Div 1 and other players.
Yeah, absolutely. And then if we move on to Edithvale, Aspendale and Warrigal, they're both looking for their first win of the season. I probably think Warrigal might get up just. It seems as though, I've heard from Edithvale, Aspendale, they are struggling with a few new players, just quite developing them a little bit further. But hopefully, as the season goes on, they can get get that done.
Yeah, I'll probably go the other way. I don't know much about Warragul. I haven't seen either. I'm actually going to the Eastern and Mornington game. This game's played at 4:45 after the men's game on Saturday. I want to get down and see Liv Purcell play, and also Sarah Elwyn from Warragul. But I'm hoping or tipping DDS. As a turner.
Rivalry on the panel.
Probably the other game, Sharks Seaford. I think Seaford are probably strong there after their draw in the first game and good win last week against Pearsdale. Another interesting game. Look, two good games for me in Div 2. Eastern and Murrumbina. We'll see where Murrumbina are at. Tyab Cranny. We'll also see where Tyab's at.
Yeah.
Two good games.
Yeah, looking forward to the round. It's going to be really interesting. All right, now guys, have you got the GameFace app?
I do. Do you, Gary?
Oh, Gary!
I don't even know how to use my phone, so I'll have to get my daughter to show me.
Well, all right. After the show, we're going to get the phone and we get that app downloaded, please. And if you're at home, if you don't have the GameFace app, you've got to get it. It's going to give you all the results, all the fixtures, scores, ladders, news, goal kickers, everything that you need, and you're also going to see lots of footage from here and from all around the competition. So make sure you download the GameFace app. Now, roaming Sophie was out and about at Bomberland. Having a bit of a laugh there. Out and about to where she saw the Bombers defeated Cerberus by 47 points. You were out and about having a bit of a chat, yeah?
Yeah, I did have to speak to a few of my teammates who got a bit nervous on the mic, I must admit.
Yeah.
I had to miss out on the warm-up just to kind of wander around and see how they were all feeling.
Was that planned, or was that...
No, it was not planned. It was very
Okay.
spur-of-the-moment kind of thing.
Okay. No, planned missing out on the warm-up.
Oh, no, but I mean, it wasn't a bad result.
Hey, but you won by 47 points, so maybe you should do this more often.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hi, I'm Sophie Strickland. I'm the captain of Frankston Bombers, and we're going to talk to some of the girls before we get started in our first game of the season against Cerberus Crib Point. Jemima, you keen for the game, mate? What position do you play?
I'm starting on the bench, but I'll probably play in the back line.
Is this your first year, or?
No, this is my second year at the Bombers. It's very exciting.
Oh, good. Good luck for today. Talia, the dual athlete. Are you sore from? Yeah, good. You sore from netball, mate?
Nah. Pulled up well. Got through the game unscathed. Did play in Pines though, so I'm happy to be here.
Do you think we're going to get the win today?
Hopefully. It's why I've turned up. I'm here to win and have a good time with my mates.
Do you reckon we're going to get a big crowd here?
At least 50 plus, 1,000, not just the 50. I reckon we'll get a few. I've heard of a few. That's where the nerves are building because there's a big crowd. We got to perform.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
So we actually have 12 girls missing out today. So it's the first time this year we've had to not select people. So there's a lot of people watching on, a couple of people warming up just to impress the coach a little bit. But we might go talk to Shaz in the helmet. Shaz, come over here, mate. This is Shaz. She's making her debut for the Bombers today. How excited are you?
Pumped. How pumped?
Yeah? Are you a bit nervous?
Of course.
What are you the most excited about?
Just running up the girls, really.
And she's an avid West Coast supporter. Who's your favourite player?
Gov, of course.
McGovern?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah? Did you watch him yesterday?
Of course I did.
Yeah?
Of course I did.
That's good. Mackie, mate, come here. We'll follow you in your stretches.
Okay.
Mackie's first year at Bombers. What are you most excited about?
Sitting on the bench.
Sitting on the bench. She kicked one of the best snags I've ever seen in the practice match. Cass is back. She's had a season off. Are you excited?
Bloody ready to go, mate.
She's ready to go. She's donned the long sleeves this year. She wants to be a bit like some of the boys in our Frankston Bombers team. Big Red?
Hey.
How's it going?
Yeah, good.
You excited for the year ahead?
Yeah, I am third year playing, so.
Yeah. Have you noticed that our pre-season is actually longer than the season itself? Have you noticed that yet?
No, I actually haven't.
Yep. So our pre-season goes for 6 months and the season only goes for 5. So do you reckon we're ready to go?
Of course.
That's good. Alrighty, guys.
We've got to be.
Yeah.
Got to take the granny out.
Alrighty, guys. Thanks for watching. Go Bombers.
Well, you're certainly the serious interview type, it seems. So you told me that you have approximately, there were about 10 players missing on the weekend. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so we've had huge numbers. We started pre-season in November, which seems incredibly early for a season that starts in May. But we have about 32 girls this year, which is really good for our club, and I think it says a lot about not just the culture of our team, but the culture of the club and how everyone at the club gets around it, all the men getting around us, coming to our game on the weekend. This weekend we're actually lucky enough to, Sorrento don't have under-19s, so we've actually slotted into their time slot in the morning. So I think that'll be really good for us girls to get that exposure before senior footy. But the game on the weekend, we held service to 1 point, which was really, really awesome to see. I know our girls have worked super hard, and we probably had 15, 16 first year players, so for them to go out there and perform the way they did on not that much experience was really awesome to see.
It's really positive.
Yeah, and look, I would think from past experience, when you say you had 10 players left out, you need that, even though it might sound silly. It's a long season, and there are a lot of players have work commitments, holidays.
Absolutely.
Women love holidays. And obviously not being available. So there'll be times when I'm sure you'll be struggling to fill 25 players.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so it's great you've got those numbers.
Yeah.
The key football word, depth, is always enjoyed. But you guys are on top of the ladder currently, which is fantastic for you. Any other teams kind of that you're looking forward to playing throughout the season? That's going to be a bit of a good kind of rival.
Yeah, so we see Pakenham, who seem to have improved drastically from the last few seasons. They've definitely struggled and finished lower down the ladder, so I'm really keen to see how they go and play against them. Obviously they've got a lot of talent brought into them this season, and also Red Hill. We actually played a practice match against Red Hill, and they actually came out on top. So we play Red Hill this weekend, so it'll be really good to see. That practice match was a while ago, see if our girls have kind of stepped up since we've played them, so that's really exciting.
One of the good things I think when you talk about Pakenham is the restructure of teams going up and down. Like, they only won 1 or 2 games last year, and to start the season 2-0 and be up there, I think that's great for the club, great for the new players, and it's probably really good for the competition.
Oh, absolutely.
The 2 teams, it's a 7-team competition. The 2 teams that stand out at this stage are obviously your group, the Bombers, and obviously Pakenham, and the other 4 also are going to really fight it out over the season.
They all seem to be in pretty good spirits. So we had a bit of footage from the Coringal-Mornington game from round 1, and it was looked like a pretty tight kind of match that was just taken out there.
Look, if you look at Mornington, it's 2 wins. They have been behind in each of their games, and probably a little bit player-wise outclassed, but their teamwork, their spirit, their commitment just for 4 quarters, 4 quarters of footy, has won them both games. So whoever's going to play them is going to be up for a tough game every round. So I'm really pleased how they've started too.
Yeah. And I think in Div 3, when we have a lot of first-year players, over the year seeing how each team can build those players into experienced players, is really good to see by the end of the year what teams have stepped up as the season's gone on.
Look, one thing I've always felt about coaching and Mornington in Div 1 this year, that's critical. You look at your players, you look at your team and how it's going at the start of the year. By the round 13, 14, coming into finals, if you're lucky enough, you want to have improvement. Individual improvement, team improvement, and that's where all the girls have got the opportunity to do with women's footy at the moment, so it's good.
Well guys, that's all we have time for. Thank you for joining us on the GameFace Footy Show for the South East Women's Football League. Thank you to our sponsors yet again, to the Bendigo Bank. Thank you for having us. Just Fierce Locker and 1111 Fitness. We absolutely couldn't be here without you, so we are super, super grateful. Next week we'll be joining you guys. Gary might even be lucky enough to join us again.
Depending on what night you're doing, Tuesday night, I'm actually handing out about $250,000 to the local Mornington Peninsula area through our sponsorship. So I've got some pleasant duties to do down there. Community banking, Bendigo Bank.
You off. Yeah, that works. Thanks for joining us tonight, Gary.
No, it's been great.
Awesome. All right, and we'll see you guys next week. And remember,
get your game face on.
Whoa.